Hello everybody. Let me just send a tweet out first. Thank you, Lee. Very kind. It's a bit sharp on the hairline, but that's terrible no matter how I cut it, so you do what you can. Yeah, I guess I'm speaking to the converted there, Lee. Okay, so I'm going to actually start the quiz itself at past, but I'll do some preamble here. Welcome to the first edition, hopefully of many, of the Voice of Wrestling Quiz Night. This is kind of a pilot. It's the actual thing should be starting next week, but this is me testing out Twitch because I've never done it before. So I expect some bumps in the road along the way, but hopefully not too many. So first off, what is the Voice of Wrestling Quiz Night? Well, it's somewhat self-explanatory. It's a wrestling quiz hosted by Voice of Wrestling, hosted by me, and it's going to be interactive, live streamed here on Twitch, probably from next week, also live streamed on YouTube, depending on feedback we get. And yeah, you may say, but Rob, doesn't Voice of Wrestling already have a fantastic quiz show? And yes, you'd be right, they do. The 5-Star Match Game. I'm a huge fan of that podcast. The main difference between that and this, one, this is live, and two, the aim is going to be to have people from the Voice of Wrestling public, people watching the stream, you're going to be able to come on the quiz, do it in real time, participate, maybe some prizes down the line, not quite sure. Yeah. A long time ago now, I think it was 2015-ish. Yeah, I think 2015. I briefly hosted a text-based wrestling quiz over on Voice of Wrestling. That was kind of invite only, and it was fun. I had a good time doing it, but thank you for the follow. But the main problem was it took forever to mark. So as it kind of expanded, I think initially I had like 20 people doing it. By the end, I had like 80 people doing it. So marking everybody's answers every week just took too long. And then you also had the problem when you're doing it by text. So over the course of um, people have a week to do their answers basically. It would kind of just take the potential for cheating was a little too high, and there were a few people I kind of had the suspicion might have been cheating. So hopefully, I've got a few ideas of how to get around that by doing this live on here and having people call in, that sort of thing. So hopefully, we'll be able to avoid that sort of thing. But I do want to just shout out because I realise I'm slightly stepping on his toes. Joe Gagney's 5-Star Match Game podcast, fantastic for wrestling quizzes. Now, speaking of participation, we're going to be doing the participation via the Voice of Wrestling Discord, which, if you go look below the stream down there somewhere, you'll be able to see a link to the Discord. Join there. There's a channel in there. I think it's voice hashtag voice VOW colon VOW dash quiz dash night. That's where I'm kind of be looking at most of the responses from. I realise that seems a bit weird. You're streaming on Twitch. Maybe you should be reading the Twitch chat. But the thing is, I won't be able to pull people's into a voice channel from the Twitch chat, but I can from the Discord. So that's kind of why I'm going to be using that. So if you do want to interact, that's going to be the thing I'm mainly going to be keeping an eye on chat-wise. What else? Oh, how am I going to be running it? So basically, this week, because it's the pilot, I'm not going to be pulling from the public. I'm just going to be having two Voice of Wrestling contributors go head-to-head, Garrett Kidney and Kelly Harris. That should be a good showdown for this week, but from next week, it's kind of when the full show will start. And from there, we'll be taking people from the public. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have like a question put out there, and the first person in the Discord channel, text channel, to answer correctly. No, that's the text channel, Matthew. It's under the podcast section. Just VOW-quiz-night. Where was I? Yes, so the person who gets it the question right in the quickest time, and that should kind of avoid cheating, because if you know it, you'll be able to type it quicker than the people googling it. You'll then be able to get pulled from the from the text channel into the voice channel. You'll be on the show with me. We'll be having a conversation. We'll run through some questions. Depending on how you do, you'll get put on a leaderboard. The highest performer from the week or something will move on to the next round. That sort of thing. Congratulations, Matthew. Well done on finding it. What else do I have listed here before we actually start? VODs. I had a few people ask, because, it's kind of late for people in Europe, especially by the end of this. So some people asked about if they'll be able to watch after, the following morning, that sort of thing. Yes, there will be VODs available of this for free, obviously. If you're on the Twitch channel and you click, I think it's, let me check what it is. Let me open it up. Yeah, so at the top, videos. You click videos, and that will show everybody who, for free, obviously, every broadcast that, that's me just creating a loop. Smart. Yes, by clicking videos, you'll be able to see all the past broadcasts. We're also going to port the VODs over onto the Voice of Wrestling YouTube, so you have a couple of options there. And then finally, a few people who might be less familiar with Twitch, the way subscribing and following works is a bit different to what you might be used to in like YouTube, for example. So basically, following is the equivalent to subscribing on YouTube. That if you press the follow button on Twitch, for a start, I'll get over there. A little notification will pop up, and it will say thank you for following or something like that, which is very fancy. And secondly, you'll get a notification every time we go live. That was it. Almost forgot there. And then subscribing isn't like subscribing on YouTube. That's a kind of a paid element. It's kind of like supporting someone on Patreon. You can have some benefits to it. I haven't set up any yet. Oh, thank you for following. Yes, Twitch does only save them for a limited amount of time, and that's why we're putting them over to YouTube, yeah. Anything else? I think we're relatively good. So let me just check. Are Kelly and Garrett ready? They are. Tremendous. Let me just send them a message so that they're ready. Check that they're ready to come onto the stream. Don't want to just throw them on if they're not prepared. See how many people are watching at the moment. $19, nice. I was worried it would be like 2, so that's positive. Just repost this in the chat. Cool, they are both ready, so let's get going. Say Garrett Kidney and Kelly Harris. Hello, people.
Hello.
We've been summoned. Hello.
Yes, you're in.
We've ascended.
Yes, you've.
Yes, when you asked, "Are you ready?" and I said yes, I shouldn't be so surprised that you then dragged me.
That is why I checked. Didn't want you to be completely caught off guard. First off, thank you for joining us.
No, I'm happy to do it.
I feel like I have higher expectations.
Well, the thing about you, Garrett, is you are known worldwide as the encyclopedia of all TNA knowledge, so with that comes a little bit of pressure.
I feel like you know that. There's you're going to make my questions naturally harder because you know my expertise. Or because I wouldn't blame you for this. You'll pettily try to catch me out, which is exactly what I tried to do to you in the exact same situation. So I couldn't blame you.
Exactly. We are mind linked in that way. So.
Meanwhile, I'll be sitting here trying to answer the questions of top 10 things Don Callis has said, Garrett.
Yeah.
Perfect friend.
Kelly, I think you're coming across a little quiet, unless that's just my headphones. Is there a way you could turn yourself up a bit? I don't know if that's an option.
Let me see.
Very closely into the microphone, ASMR
Yeah, I could just get up on this mic.
Yeah, just a real extra draw to the stream.
There we go.
Extra incentive. Sexy Kelly Harris. Boom. Yeah. Before we fully start the quiz, do you have anything up front you guys want to plug?
Let's see. I got later tonight, me and my friends, I think through Discord, will be watching the horrible musical Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark. So check out @Panels on Pages on Twitter for more details. Those will come later tonight. I think we should be doing it in about 3.5 hours.
Cool. Garrett, anything?
Go watch my Final Fantasy VII video on YouTube. YouTube.com/GarrettKidney. Also launching a Disney podcast on what day is that? Monday. So just follow me on Twitter @GarrettKidney. You'll get all my various podcasts. Far too many podcasts.
Many of which are downvoted massively by NXT fans, unhappy with your opinions.
They're a very petty breed of people, NXT fans. You got barred mouth the saint that is Johnny Gargano, or they will come for your YouTube videos.
Days of Thunder podcast, as requested. There's your plug, Lee. There you go. I am reading the chat. That's proof. Yeah, let's go. Let me bring this up. So, that's just got in the way. There we go. Is that on screen? I also have a fancy scoreboard that I made and spent far too long making for how simple it is. So let me bring that up on. Here we go. Beautiful. Over there. Beautiful stuff. You probably won't be able to see that for a while because of the weird delay. Which is going to make picture rounds a little weird, but you know, we'll see how we go. This is a learning process. So before the show, I had both Kelly and Garrett select a specialist subject. As you can imagine, Garrett chose TNA. I don't think there was much of a question in that, but I thought it was polite to at least ask him. Kelly chose ROH, and because Garrett picked TNA and that's kind of his thing, I let him narrow it down a bit more because, only seemed fair. So we're going Gabe era ROH. Actually, I've said that. Did I actually do the question just on Gabe era? Oh, I'm not sure I even did. Oh dear. I've extra punished Kelly here. I think they're mostly Gabe era, but I'm not 100% sure. That's cruel of me. So we're gonna have 3 rounds of the quiz, and as with rounds, whoever wins 2 out of the 3 will win. If someone wins 2-0, we'll do the last one anyway, but just for a little bit of pride. And the first round is going to be Pick Their Poison, and that's going to be based on the specialist topics they pick. So as you can see on the fancy screen I've done below, Ring of Honor and TNA. But, a little twist, they thought they were picking for themselves, but the way we're actually going to do it is that's the topic for the other person. So Kelly's going to get first shot at the TNA questions, and Garrett's going to get the first shot at the ROH questions. If they do get them wrong, though, the other person will have a chance to steal. And since it's their specialist topic, chances are they might get them. So, a little bit of pressure there. Now, if you get the question right, and it goes to you first, you get 2 points. If you get it wrong, the other person steals it, they will only get 1 point because it is their specialist topic. Does that all make sense?
Yeah,
I feel hoodwinked. This is a betrayal here.
I mean, that's exactly how you suggested I should do about 5 minutes ago. So really, it's what you should have expected in a way.
This is what I get for the brain melt.
So, first question to you, Garrett, and to the chat in general playing along at home. This is an ROH question. Before finally winning the championship from Kevin Steen, Jay Briscoe had a tradition of getting a world championship shot against nearly every champion in the company's history. Who were the first 3 men he got world title shots against? And I need all 3.
Oh. I don't know Ring of Honor history. I know who's the champion, so realistically, they're not necessarily all in order. I'm gonna guess Xavier, because that's the one you wouldn't expect it to be. So I'm gonna go Xavier. I'm gonna go Samoa Joe and Bryan Danielson.
You are wrong.
Oh, that's a classic.
I won't clarify how wrong before Kelly's got a chance to answer. So Kelly, do you have any adjustments you want to make for your chance to steal?
Okay, let's go Samoa Joe, Austin Aries, Bryan Danielson.
Unfortunately wrong. Garrett, you were actually closer. It was Xavier, Samoa Joe, and then Takeshi Morishima. So there was quite a gap there.
Oh.
There was a while he didn't have any shots at the world title. So that's 0 each. Yes, these questions are going to be quite difficult. This is going to be a very nerdy wrestling quiz. Maybe low scoring.
We're just going to end on nothing, aren't we? It's going to be a no-score draw.
Yeah, I'm going to be the only winner here by absolutely ruining your hopes and dreams.
Dramatic power play on your part.
Just to humble all the other Voices Wrestling contributors. Just become the real king of the slack. Kelly, your turn for a TNA question as I shuffle my Dave Meltzer-esque notes. In its early days, TNA was based around a series of weekly pay-per-views. Who was the last person to win the X Division Championship at one of those weekly pay-per-view events?
Oh, God. I feel like Chris Sabin is a decent guess.
It's a decent guess, but it's not the right guess, unfortunately. Garrett, you gonna slide in here and get a steal?
Williams.
As people all kind of knew, Garrett does know his TNA. He's got more detail and everything.
This is like when you watch The Chase. You know, the person gets it wrong. And they swoop in just to like, oh, look at the knowledge I have. The belt was vacated after Frankie Kazarian and Michael Shane both won it. Co-champions for a while. Before they had a gauntlet for the gold in which PD won.
That's impressive.
That's knowledge, that is.
He at last eliminated Amazing Red as well. If you want the extra bit of
Man, I thought you said your knowledge of the Asylum era weekly pay-per-views was lower than the rest of Impact. That's ominous. That's ominous, that is.
There are two places where you will get me. There's Asylum era stuff, like a history of the Knockouts Championship. If you have a bunch of that in there, it's where I will be shakier.
Kelly, it's not looking good. I'm not
No,
sure
it's
how
not
a lot of
looking-
that.
Yeah, I knew Garrett was going to destroy me here.
Well, it's well done in the chat to Andrew Rich, the first person to get a question right in the chat. Well done to him. The robot of the Slack. We all know he has infinite knowledge and will beat us all. Question. That's 1-0 to Garrett, which has now been added to the fancy scoreboard over there.
I like it.
Back to Ring of Honor questions, Garrett. When Generation Next debuted as a unit in 2004, they won their first 3 trios matches in a row, but lost the 4th. The 3 people who lost were the team of Aries, Evans, and Strong, and that was at Death Before Dishonor. Can you name at least 2 of their 3 opponents who beat them? And you're allowed 3 guesses, and you have to get 2 of the 3 names right.
Oh, lost. Is it too much to ask for the year in which they lost?
I'm pretty sure it's 2004. They debuted in 2004, so it was Death Before Dishonor in 2004. Yeah.
That gives me at least a time frame. I'm gonna say they lost. I'm gonna take a big swing and guess that the Briscoes were 2 of them.
That's 2 of the
Probably a
names.
bad way. That's 2 of the names, and I am going to go with A Lethal.
That's not correct, Garrett. That's not correct. It's not
Oh.
TNA, so unsurprisingly, it's not correct. Kelly, you want to swoop in?
I'll take a shot in the dark and just guess CM Punk, Colt Cabana, and Ace Steel.
Again, not correct, unfortunately. The score remains 1-0. This answer amazed me, and I've actually watched this period of Ring of Honor relatively recently, and I didn't remember this till I looked it up for this quiz. Generation Next brought in as a dominant faction, Death Before Dishonor, after winning just 3 trios matches in a row. The 4th one, they lost to Jimmy Jacobs, John Walters, and Matt Striker. Weird.
What a trio.
Weird. Not even a unit. They just lost.
Huh. All right, then.
Back to TNA. In 2015, the former pay-per-view that by that point had become a TV special, Hardcore Justice, was main evented by Eric Young defeating Kurt Angle. What stipulation, as in match type, not like what was on the line, so like Hell in a Cell, that sort of thing, was the match in question? Eric Young defeating Kurt Angle.
I'm gonna guess Last Man Standing.
It's not right. It's not right.
All right.
I'll withhold comment until after Garrett's had his guess.
Stretcher match.
He's too good. See, for me,
It's surprisingly good as well. I think it's like if you go back, I reviewed that show for voicesofwrestling.com. I think I gave it like 3 stars. It was surprisingly good.
This is already feeling very unfair towards Kelly, but
At first, that's the kind of deep cut question that will catch me, though.
Yeah.
there was no hesitation though. There was just bang,
No, there's not.
no deliberation. For some reason in my mind, a last man standing match and a stretcher match, I was like, oh, that's close. I'm not sure why that's close, but in my head, it's close.
You gotta make someone lay down.
Yeah, I reckon
But
it's a good guess.
instead of a specific amount of time, it's on a specific object.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, if you just asked me what was the main event of Hardcore Justice 2015, I wouldn't have been able to tell you.
Yeah, but I also think that would have had absolutely 0 chance of Kelly getting it, so it would have made it more unfair.
This is your own flippy do stipulation is working against you.
The next one is a picture round. So because of the delay on this one, this may take a while, but if you bring up the stream, please keep it on mute, otherwise there'll be a weird loop. There should be a picture on the screen now. Now this picture was from a Ring of Honor event, and I just need you to tell me what the name of this Ring of Honor event was. As we awkwardly wait for it to... the delay to catch up.
What do you feel for time?
Feel for time. Right, let's take a see if anyone got the last question right in the chat. It does not seem that they did. There's a lot of guesses of steel cage matches. Penalty box match, not correct. Doomsday Chamber of Blood, also unfortunately not correct. Has it shown up yet?
The stipulation. No.
Oh,
Yeah, not yet.
I'm running out of...
All right, let's guess all the events that it couldn't be. The first night of Nitro.
You might be right there. I don't want to give too much away. It's the people in the chat are saying it's shown up for them now.
Yeah, it just showed up.
There we go. There we go. Need to get better at filling it.
I don't have it yet. Let me pause and unpause. So there you go. You want the event this is from?
Yes. I mean, I assume you know who those two people are. That'll be a start.
No, I don't. The other guy's in a fake company now. It's impossible to know. I think one of them is technically like my boss, but that's neither here nor there. I don't know. Manhattan Mayhem, was that a Ring of Honor show?
That is a Ring of Honor show. It's not this
That's my
Ring
guess.
of Honor show.
That would have been
unfortunately.
amazing if that was right.
Yeah, it would have been good, but it's not. Callie, can you get on the board?
Okay, I'm trying to think. Based on what Jimmy's wearing, what it would be. Because that's not Age of the Fall era. That's later. When was... Oh, shit. I'm just gonna go... Oh, is this... Should I not say bad words?
Nah, it's fine.
Okay, cool.
Just no slurs.
Okay. I mean, though we are on Twitch. I mean, the home of slurs.
That's true. In theory, it will get me banned. It will probably actually get me promoted by Twitch, but
Yeah.
who knows?
You'll get a whole new following.
Yeah.
I'll just guess best in the world.
No, but you were right in your reasoning of the kind of era. This was the early Scum era.
Okay, yeah.
Kind of Cornet time. So yes, I have kind of stretched my Gabe era completely into non-Gabe era. So I've been very unfair to you there. This was Showdown in the Sun, one of their WrestleMania weekend events. I think it was one of the Florida ones.
12, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, just before...
The Debbie Richards, Michael Elgin one, wasn't it?
Yes. As this was during one of Kevin Steen's first matches back, during a last man standing match with El Generico. He had Jimmy Jacobs ran in after being out of the company for ages and turned heel, attacking with the spike. We do have one person getting the answer right in the chat so far. Yes, they didn't actually get the name, but they described the show very well, which, they said the WrestleMania weekend show with Elgin took on Richards, so there's some credit's got to be given there. I'm terrified of saying this name because I'm going to get it very wrong, but is it Philip Pejic? Yeah, maybe. Andrew Rich, of course, gets it right because
the
of course
AI.
he does. Yeah, let's... Next question. Back to TNA. In 2011, during the Hogan and Bischoff Reign of Terror, TNA rebranded its weekly show from TNA Impact to Impact Wrestling and changed its colour scheme from red and black to blue and white and kind of a bit of grey in there as well. What slogan was attached to the brand after this rebranding?
Okay, it's certainly not where the big boys play.
If only it was.
If only it was. I know this is wrong, but I want to say it's something like making an impact.
It sounds like it could be right. It's not, but it sounds like it could be an Impact slogan, and maybe was at one point. Garrett can probably tell us.
It's not really. Sorry.
Damn it, Garrett, let me have this.
Wrestling Matters, which is more ironic because Eric Bischoff pinned the Young Bucks.
He so like flippantly gets these answers right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Of course, it's
Oh,
Wrestling
this little
Matters.
thing.
I was slightly distracted checking my review of Eric Young versus Kurt Angle, which I did in fact give 3.25 stars.
Good recall there.
Yeah.
Well done.
Garrett's
Also the
like a
show,
magician that has all the cards he could possibly have in a deck all across his body. So you ask a certain question, and he takes off his shoe, and it's Hardcore Justice 2015.
Also the show where Abyss won the X Division title. So they're like, Wrestling Matters, where Eric Bischoff pins the Young Bucks and Abyss is X Division champion.
We had a
Like, could you have not have made this rebrand any worse immediately?
Yeah, it's impressive that it wasn't ironic. It's amazing lack of self-awareness to go with where wrestling matters in that era of Impact. Lots of people in the chat got that one right. Not to make you feel any worse, Kelly, but that probably does.
No, that's okay.
Well done to Paul, Matthew, Andrew, Lee. Yeah, just the 3 or 4. Yeah, not everyone.
That was the era where I'd completely given up on Impact. I don't think I've actually seen much of any of that time.
And before you had the Make the Change era, that was at the start of Hogan. Then you had the Cross the Line era, which I think people remember fondly, 2009-ish. We Are Wrestling era, the new face of professional wrestling era. I don't think we currently have a slogan. We should. Pitch slogans.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Wrestling needs more slogans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
An empty speech. Yeah. Ring of Honor. Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly, again, this is not Gay Beer or ROH, had a famous match at Best in the World 2012 that many consider to be a breakout match for both men. It's famous for Adam Cole bleeding heavily from the mouth, which created a great visual and really rallied the fans behind him. The match going in, though, had a special name that it was billed as, that was kind of a stipulation and kind of just like a phrase that was attached to the match to kind of build it up. What was said phrase?
I know that there was like weird, like shooty MMA, that weird era of Ring of Honor where they're like, we have fight camps.
Mm-hmm.
And, so I know the spirit of the stipulation. I don't know the name of the stipulation. And that match, people remember it as a great match. It was a disaster before he bled. The match sucked, and then he bled, and it's amazing. Alas.
And it's brilliant because as soon as they start bleeding, they just ignore the rules that they've set up beforehand, and they just have a wrestling match, and it's really good. But the rules before that kind of stopped it from being good. Don't want to say too much more because that might give it away, but yeah, you may or may not be along the right lines here.
The name's not there. So it's the mixed rules. There we go.
Garrett, you'll be amazed to find out that that's not the correct answer, but
no,
good try.
Is it the Davey Richards jack off era rules?
I mean, in spirit, that should be the name.
Yeah.
Kelly, do you have an answer?
Was it hybrid rules?
I'm going to give you that, partially because you're 3-0 down to this point. It was hybrid fighting rules, which is very close. So
I might say that mixed is a synonym for hybrid. I should be correct.
You're still 3-1 up. Let's calm down. Let's calm down here. But Kelly, you're on the board. Congratulations.
Yay, I did it.
It was not only in Evolve, as Erin Quinn is suggesting in the chat. Hybrid rules. Andrew Rich gets it similarly right to Kelly, who got it exactly right. Of course, Sean got it exactly right. This is bang in the middle of his era of Ring of Honor. Yep. Tapping Out was not the right name, but, kind of along the right lines. Largo Loop Deathmatch. That would be what it was if they did it today, and especially as a deathmatch with the current situation we're in. Number 8. Question 8. In 2014, TNA bizarrely held the show that's traditionally their biggest of the year, Bound for Glory, at Korakuen Hall in Japan. If you've already listened to the Voice of Wrestling flagship, I wrote this question before that, it did get discussed on that, so maybe that'll give you a hint. The event was probably best remembered for Dixie Carter's inappropriate tweets about hurricanes and James Storm after some disaster that had happened in Japan, which was, another classic Dixie Carter move. But do you remember the main event? Kelly?
It was... Shoot, I want to say Samoa Joe was in it. I could be wrong. I'm just going to guess Samoa Joe versus Loki.
I don't think Loki was in the company at that time, but maybe...
That's what I thought. I don't know why Loki popped up in my head for that.
That's a match on that show. It was Samoa Joe against Loki against
okay.
Kaz Hayashi. So yeah, you're not completely off base. They wrestled each other in the show.
It's
okay, good.
Not the main event though, but a lot better guess than I thought it was then. So apologies.
I thought there was some weirdness around that time where someone had lost a belt, but they had to put it back on them because of the order that tapings were in, and I think Samoa Joe and Loki were involved in that situation, so that's why it stuck out in my head.
The thing where Samoa Joe lost the belt on the TV tapings, the way US wrestling works, that Joe is still champion until that airs.
Yeah.
Japanese wrestling doesn't obey those laws. When the title change happens, the title change happens. So there's like a weird cultural thing where Samoa Joe defended the belt after he lost it. People are like,
that's right.
Can you do that? James Storm and the Great Sanada against the Great Muta and Tajiri.
That's 4 out of 4. That's I clearly haven't made these questions hard enough, but also, given that Kelly hasn't got any of them right, I also haven't made them easy enough. I've gone right in the problematic middle ground where Garrett's getting a chance at all of these questions and he's not getting any of them wrong. So apologies, Kelly. I've made this bad for you, but that's 4-1.
I mean, it's all right.
This is only the first round. There's 2 rounds after this. Do I have any TNA questions in that? Oh dear, I do. Oh dear. Yes, of course, Garrett was right. Samoa Joe and Loki, was that during the era when they were in like a faction with MVP as well?
It was slightly before that. It was January 2015, the start of the Beatdown Clan. The
Beatdown Clan, that's what I was trying to think of. BDK, what a group.
Yep.
What a group. Let's see who got it. ODB versus Aja Kong, not correct, but could have been fun.
Wasn't the women's match on that show Velvet Sky against Havoc in Korakuen Hall?
Wow.
That sounds right.
Oh dear.
Well done to Andrew and Lee for getting that one right. Question 9, the last Ring of Honor question. Who defeated Age of the Fall at Driven 2008 for the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships? Garrett?
Alright, Driven 2008. Teams in the year of our Lord 2008 that wrestled in Ring of Honor Wrestling. Question. Good question.
But will there be a good answer?
Probably not. Let's go Kevin Steen and El Generico.
Of course he's punted in the dark and got it right and got 2 points.
Yeah!
Of course he has.
It's like 50-50. It's like American Wolves or those two, and it's there you go.
Yeah, I was thinking it was either Generico or the Briscoes.
Yeah, I was hoping Garrett would go the Briscoes there, just from like, Ring of Honor tag team, Briscoes, but no, of course
that was my default, and I reverse engineered Rob. I was like,
he's in my head too. Well, that's 6-1. So Kelly, unless you're getting this question right, 3 times on this one question, you have lost the round now.
Okay, I can do this 3 times and 1 question. We got this.
At Lockdown 2010, AJ Styles defended the TNA World title against the Pope, D'Angelo De Niro. To earn said title shot, the Pope, who was pimping, won an 8-man tournament earlier in the year at Against All Odds. What was the name of this tournament?
It's not the Bound for Glory series. It's not the Hard 10 or whatever the fuck it was.
Hard 10. That's a hell of a name.
R10. R10.
I wish it was the Hard. They should bring Garrett. Get them to bring that back.
Mention it.
Will you?
Along with my slogans.
Yeah, there we go. If I write you up 10 slogans, will will you pass on that idea?
It's hard to kill as technical slogan.
Oh God, I have no idea. I'm just gonna say race for the title because why not?
I think that was a Ring of Honor tournament, something like that. But you're sticking with just the 1 point on this round, Kelly. Garrett, are you ready to nonchalantly get this one correct as well?
This is the 8-card stud tournament. He beat Anderson in the final.
And for no bonus points, but for extra showing off points, who did he beat along the way?
Oh, he beat D. Ruffy in the opener.
Jeez.
I don't even know who that is.
Desmond Wolf, sorry.
Oh.
Who he affectionately referred to as Desmond Ruffy.
Okay.
Oh, he's got
Ruffy.
details.
I don't remember who he beat second. If you ask me who did he beat second in that tournament, I'd forget. There was Abyss against Foley. There was Angle against Anderson. There was... Who did Pope beat second? Who did he beat in the semi? Who would he beat in the semi in that era? Matt Morgan.
See, even when he doesn't know, he figures it
Get
out.
there in the end.
That's concluding a dominant first round, 7 points to 1. But you know, the scores are now back to 0-0 for this next round. So you're back in this. This next round I have called stabilizing for no other reason than it's barely even a pun. It's just about wrestling stables, and it's gonna work a bit like. Have you ever heard of the game Pass the Bomb?
No.
Oh.
So it's also called hot potato sometimes. Basically, I'm going to give you a stable, and I'm going to wait for you guys to take it in turns to name people from that stable while I'm ticking people off the list. Whoever can't come up with one loses the point, and the other person gets a point. I've got 5... How many stables do I have? I've got 5 different stables for us to go through. So obviously, whoever can get to 3 the first wins the point, wins the round. So, Kelly,
You're doing like entire history of the stables.
Yes, I will clarify a little when we get to each stable, because there's sometimes some stuff to clarify, but in general it's going to be pretty complete, including people like associates and loosely linked, that sort of thing. Kelly, since you lost the first round, I've got, out of these 5 stables, I've got a Ring of Honor stable, a WCW stable, a TNA stable, a predominantly WWF stable, and a New Japan stable. Which of the 5 would you like to do first?
Let's do WWF.
Let's go WWF. Now, this first one is going to be the Heenan family then. And for that, I'm including all forms of the Heenan family across both WWF and the prior promotions he was in. We've got 41 different possible names here, so there's a few to choose from. Garrett, do you want to go first? And both if you can't name anyone, and also if you name anyone incorrectly, you lose the point.
Old wrestling is a real weak point.
Callie, we've got a chance here.
But it's the Heenan family. I shall start with Bobby the Brain Heenan.
You know, stupidly, I haven't actually got that one listed, but of course it's right. Yeah, so 42 actual
I'll
names.
take the layup.
Kelly?
Let's go Andre the Giant.
Correct. We've stumped him.
Ric Flair.
Ric Flair is correct.
Haku.
Correct.
Mr. Perfect.
Ooh, Mr. Yes, correct.
Shoot, why am I drawing a blank?
Old wrestling is hard, Kelly.
I know.
It's like a long time ago. Old wrestling's weird like that.
Also not TNA, which I didn't think was allowed.
Trying to think of who was evil around that time. Because it's never anyone good. Let's just the Barbarian.
Ooh, the Barbarian, correct.
Yes.
God damn it.
Only a mere 36 left remaining possible answers.
I don't know. Like, also, a stable with 36 people is far too many.
It was 42. You've done 6 of them. And it wasn't all at once. This was over a long period across multiple promotions.
I don't know. Would Arn Anderson?
Correct.
Oh, really? Yeah, go me.
I think Garrett's guessed every one of these, somehow also including Bobby Heenan.
If it's got Arn, it probably has Tully.
Tully Blanchard, correct.
Good. Okay.
Oh. Oh. I want to say Hercules Hernandez for some reason.
Hercules Hernandez, is that the TNA wrestler?
Oh, it's. I might have just went by Hercules. Is this a real wrestler? Am I imagining people? Am I just
No,
Rob? Is he on the list, Rob? Don't you string me along.
Okay, Hercules is. What was Hernandez's first name that when he used in Ring of Honor? Let me look that up. Yeah, Hercules is correct.
Hercules. Wrestling Federation.
Hernandez, TNA.
We've gone to the adjudicator.
Oh, that was Hot Stuff Hernandez. I was getting confused. Of course I was.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Hercules Hernandez is, of course, right. Yep.
Ah!
Okay. The Berserker?
Ooh. I'm not seeing that there, Kelly. I think...
Okay, yeah.
Unless
I was just thinking evil people.
Yeah, so, unfortunately, we found Garrett's weakness and he still won the point. So, that's 1-0 to Garrett in this round. To list off some of the names you could have said, Adrian Adonis, Angelo Poffo, Austin Idol, Baron von Raschke, Big John Studd, Blackjack Lanza, Blackjack Mulligan, Bobby Duncombe, Bobby Jaggers, Buddy Rose, Chris Markoff, Ernie Ladd, Harley Race, Jimmy Valiant, Johnny Valiant, Carl Cox, Ken Patera, King Kong Bundy, The Masked Superstar, Mr. Saito, Nick Bockwinkel, Paul Orndorff, Professor Tora Tanaka, Ray Stevens, Rick Rude, Ron Bass, Sivi Affy, Stan Hansen, Super Destroyer number 2, Tamu, Brooklyn Brawler, The Missing Link, and finally, and probably, maybe not quite least, the Red Rooster. They're the names you didn't name. So
my next guess would have been Big John Studd.
I was thinking Big John Studd too, but I wasn't sure if that one was right.
You would have gotten one more, but before I was just legitimately just blind guessing names.
Okay, 1-0 to Garrett. Come on, this Kelly comeback's going to be very impressive from here. So we've got Ring of Honor, WCW, New Japan, or TNA. Kelly, your choice again.
Yeah, let's just get it out of the way. Let's do TNA. It's gonna happen regardless.
Yeah, let's create the maximum setup for a comeback.
Yeah.
So this stable is Immortal. I'm including everyone, including the subgroups of Immortal that for a while weren't in Immortal and then were kind of in Immortals, like other stables that were dragged in. I'm including people who were loose associates. So I've got 32 different names.
Oh my god.
Garrett,
Let it be known, I firmly disagree with the list of people that were in Immortal on the Wikipedia.
I was surprised by some of them as well, but I also didn't do like enough research because usually the person I'd asked to clarify that would be you, Garrett, and I don't think that would have quite made it very fair. So I'm including everyone on Wikipedia. Let's put it out there. Garrett, you can go first.
Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan is correct.
Sting?
Sting's not correct, Kelly.
Did I just mix it up with the Main Event Mafia?
I think you did. That
Yep.
was a quick one. That one.
I knew I was gonna do that. I knew, like, I was about to say before I even started, like, oh, I hope I don't mix up Immortal with Main Event Mafia.
Well,
I just decided to troll the TNA question instantly. It's like, why even bother? Let's just dump it.
some would say it was tactical. Some would say it was tactical. It's just got it's got it out of the way.
But Gunner, you could have had Murphy, you could have had Rob Terry, you could have had Ric Flair, you could have had Abyss, you could have had Bully Ray, you could have had Kurt Angle, you could have had AJ Styles, you could have had Christopher Daniels, you could have had Kazarian, James Storm, Bobby Roode.
Wikipedia
Morgan,
says yes, Christopher Daniels, weirdly.
Daniels was gone from Fortune by the time they were in Immortal,
yes,
so it's wrong.
But they're including his time right at the end of Immortal.
Oh, he's not an Immortal. God,
I know.
Wikipedia.
And also,
this is why Wikipedia is wrong.
Also, it didn't list Murphy, which I found really weird, but I added him to the list because I know Murphy is definitely immortal.
Yeah.
But yes.
Mercy, Wikipedia, whoever. Just these people were in a tag team match with Immortal once. They put them in the damn stable.
But don't put Murphy. Tut.
So, yeah, there was an entire match between Gunner, Murphy, and Rob Terry about one of them got to stay in Immortal. Curse you, Wikipedia.
Yeah, so the other ones listed were Abyss, AJ Styles, and Ikea, who I'm not sure about that one.
Also was not in Immortal.
I don't even know who that is.
It was like Hernandez's partner.
Hernandez in Mexican America. I can't even say America. Sarita and Rosita.
Yeah, they pulled all of them into Immortal on the Wikipedia, which I was a bit sketchy about, but I wasn't sure enough to take him out. Bobby Roode, Doug Williams, Bully Ray, Chris Harris, for one night only. Christopher Daniels.
Harris?
Hey, he came in to
team with Matt Hardy once. Was not in Immortal.
Oh, the anger is coming out here. Some pent-up rage. Eric Bischoff, Christopher Daniels, which we've established has a big question mark. Garrett Bischoff under his ref name. What was his ref name? Jackson James. What a name. Gunner, Hernandez, also a question mark. James Storm, Jeff Hardy, Jeff Jarrett. Wow. Jerry Lynn, Karen Jarrett, Kazarian.
Jerry Lynn?
Yeah, reading that now. I'm not sure about that one.
These people are in one tag team match with somebody from Immortal. It's like, yep, they're in the stable.
They're
That's
in
how
now.
stables work.
I've actually listed Kazarian twice. Let's ignore that. Kurt Angle, Matt
We have technically named him twice. Would you have allowed it? It's on the list.
If Kelly had done it, yes. If you'd done it, no. Sean Cedar saying, didn't Bad Influence join Immortal in 2011, or weren't they associated with them?
They had like some next to Immortal segments. I would say it's a stretch because then they soon, soonish went into Ego. Well, not really soon. It was like 2 years later. So disregard that.
Where did I get? I said Kazarian twice, Kurt Angle, Matt Hardy, Matt Morgan, Mr. Anderson with his... Was he the guy with the camo suits during that era?
I don't remember.
I think he was wearing some camo suits for some reason. That's stuck in my mind.
I think he was. I feel like I remember that.
They were bad.
So did he actually join? They teased that he joined Immortal, but then he turned on them.
Mm.
That's really just not understanding the story.
You know, this whole data is just. Maybe we should just throw this question out. You know?
Yeah, let's put it back to 1-0. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you were still wrong in a wrong way.
I'm still wrong in a very wrong way.
To be fair, I'm surprised Sting wasn't on this list, given who they have brought in. But I think Sting was kind of their one most consistent enemy. Yeah, Murphy,
Sting
Ric
killed
Flair.
Immortal. Sting defeated Immortal. Does that count?
Yeah, why not? Because then briefly he was friends with Hulk Hogan after that match, and Hulk Hogan at that point still wasn't officially out of Immortal, so really he should count.
You know,
so I'm
he's
gonna
just
give it to
Jason.
By the standards some people on this list are an Immortal. It should count.
Ric Flair.
If Chris Harris can be on there, Sting can be on there.
Yeah, I'm going to give Kelly the point, I think. I think that's,
Alright.
that's the way we should go
Guilty.
here. Rob Terry, Rosita, Sarita, again, bit dodgy. Scott Steiner, and Tommy Dreamer.
Was not. Bully was mean. No, he was Bully. He was being subjugated by Bully Ray, not Immortal.
Okay.
Again, watch your 2011 Impact, whoever. But these people are like, we can't put wrestling moves on our Wikipedia page, but we'll have a wildly inaccurate list of people that were in Immortal. Oh.
Boom, anger. Let's go the New Japan one next, because it's the one left on my piece of paper. I don't want to have to go across pieces of paper. It's the Bullet Club. So it's another big one. 38 people have been in Bullet Club, according to Wikipedia, the, as we've just established, ever reliable source. I'm including all subcategories of Bullet Club, foreign sections of Bullet Club, basically everyone. Because I think it's a slight disadvantage. Garrett, you go first.
I'm gonna name that might not actually be on the list, but because again, I have to name people who employ me. Scott D'Amore.
Scott D'Amore is on the list. There we go.
I would have been upset if he wasn't. Would have reported the Wikipedia page.
All right, then by that token, we'll go Jeff Jarrett.
Very important members.
Correct.
Important members of the Bullet Club. I nearly said Finn Balor. God, they have me conditioned. Fergal Devitt. Prince Devitt, sorry.
Yes,
Prince.
correct. I went to the F section of my list and was like, why is Fergal Devitt not on here? But yes, of course, Prince Devitt is there.
Bad Luck Fale.
Bad Luck Fale, correct.
Machine Gunka.
Carl Anderson, correct. Again, I looked to the M section of my list when you said that and was like, oh, not there. Yes, correct.
Tama Tonga.
Uh-huh.
Luke Gallows.
Doc Gallows, yes.
Impact Doc.
This is nice.
The suntan biker man.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's go Tongaloa.
Uh-huh.
Kenny Omega.
Indeed he was.
AJ Styles.
AJ Styles. Mm-hmm.
A White.
Indeed. Unfortunately.
Oh.
I missed the first part of you saying that, and I just heard you say a white, and I said, what? I mean, yeah, that's where they go.
Oh, dear.
Nick Jackson.
Yes.
Matt Jackson.
Oh.
Yes.
Chase Owens.
He is indeed.
Yujiro
Takahashi. Uh-huh.
Cody.
Yep.
Adam Cole.
Hey, babe.
Oh, no, Adam Page. Oh, no, yeah, no, I was right. I was wrong, but I was right.
Adam Cole was in there for a little bit. He
Yep.
I accidentally said the Adam I didn't mean.
Yeah. I was at the show he debuted as a Bullet Club member. So I'll take the other Adam and say Adam Page.
Yes, Adam Hangman Page. Correct.
Bullet Club.
Ooh.
I gave away one of my own answers. What have I done to myself?
I'm gonna have to start.
Sabotage myself.
I'm gonna have to start rushing you, Garrett.
Oh, it's going to annoy me because there's so many more of them. How many more of them are there?
This is like the laying tactic, but it is gonna work.
Stalling for time.
1, 2,
Stalling
3,
for
4,
time.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
Jesus Christ. You made me more upset that I can't think of one. Bullet Club. Who's in the Bullet Club? Haiji Ishimori. There we go. Yeah.
Okay, I was about to time you out there. Correct.
Let's go. The Bone Soldier.
The Boner himself, indeed.
Where I started. Bullet Club.
10
Kenta.
seconds. Kenta, correct.
Kenta. Isn't there now?
Mm-hmm.
Cody Hall counts, right?
Cody Hall does count.
Okay.
Ah, damn it.
Nice pull.
Marty in the Bullet Club? Marty.
Yes.
Roll.
Well, which Marty?
Roll.
Janetti.
Yes. To the skull part.
Not the Janetti part.
Look, I don't want to say anything unless someone wants to guess Janetti, but I'm saying yes to skull.
Gato.
Indeed.
King Haku.
Not the one I was expecting after Gato, but yes.
Damn it!
Then I'll go with the one that I thought Garrett was going to take. I'll take Jado.
Should have taken Jado. I'm so untactical at this.
We're getting down to the trickier ones now, although there are some ones that you really should be getting still to go.
Yeah, I'll be very mad at myself. There's pretty many that are very self-evident that are members of the Bullet Club that I should know off the top of my head. Not at all just talking and doing nothing to solve for time. That's not what I'm doing. Stopping Rob from counting me down.
10
I keep
seconds.
talking. Can't start counting me down.
8, 7, 6,
Just,
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
what's that? I should have just said somebody's name.
Kelly.
Garrett, how could you forget the Bullet Babe Amber Gallows?
Oh no!
That is one on the list. I don't have Peter on the list, but I should have Peter on the list.
You should have Peter on the list.
So it's actually at least 39. So here's some you missed, as Kelly just so correctly pointed out. The Bullet Babe Amber Gallows, with her great matches with Maria. I think they were mixed tag mostly. I don't fully remember. Brandy Rhodes.
Oh yeah.
El Fantasmo should have got that one.
Yep.
He's there now, yeah, but
El Terrible. Bit trickier, that one. Frankie Kazarian. Now, this one slightly disputed because he was in the Bullet Club, but only in Ring of Honor.
Oh yeah,
and
that's right.
Only to trick the Bullet Club to help for when he would unturn, because he was a double agent, so that he could help Christopher Daniels win the Ring of Honor World Championship, but I would have accepted it. Mr. Juicy, Gino Gambino.
Yep.
Hikuleo. I said that wrong. Hikuleo. Something like that. One of them.
I was trying to think of his name and almost just said Tamatonga and Tangaloa's brother at one point.
I mean, given that you're behind, I may have given you it. Who knows? There's too many Spanish names on here that I'm going to butcher the pronunciation of, but La Comandante? Maybe? Probably? Mephisto, Ray Bucanero, Robbie Eagles, should have got that one. and Stephen Amell, Mr. Arrow.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So the score is 2-1. The comeback has begun.
Yes.
Kelly, would you like to do Ring of Honor or WCW next?
Let's do Ring of Honor.
Ring of Honor. The stable is the Embassy. One of my favourite stables ever, mostly because of, I won't say his name, but the person who owned the Embassy. Because,
Voldemort.
Yes,
So
him.
close.
Because he was a glorious, glorious manager. There's 40 names here.
Holy crap.
This includes all editions of the Embassy, including the ones that weren't in Ring of Honor, and also includes people loosely associated. Again, there may be a few names that were on the Wikipedia that I was like, are you sure? But also my knowledge wasn't quite good enough that I could be like, no, they definitely weren't in there. So, there's probably a bit of leeway here. Garrett, you go first again.
Ring of Honor is bad. The Embassy was Prince Nana's stable, wasn't it?
It was indeed.
There you go. Okay,
One
we're off to
down.
a good start.
All right. I'll take one that I think Garrett might take. Abyss.
Uh-huh. His Ring of Honor run in the Embassy was incredible, and it was a travesty that it ended so quickly, because, damn, like, every single match he had then was pretty much amazing. He was so good. Anyway, Garrett.
This is the best. We should do an Abyss revision, because, like, it's quite sad that he got pigeonholed into hardcore stuff in TNA, and it quite ruined his career, but certainly set his career on a certain track. He had a very good career. But yeah, Abyss is great. Alex Shelley?
Uh-huh. Classic Garrett in the Ring of Honor section, naming TNA predominantly names. Of course he
You
is.
see, he teamed with Abyss in TNA with Goldilocks as their manager.
Oh yeah. Jimmy Rave.
Jimmy Rave! Correct.
No idea.
36 names left.
Legitimately, like, I'm just gonna say a name, and that name is Lethal.
I
Hit the dramatic pause.
was double checking the list, but no, Jay Lethal, never in the Embassy. Although dude had some tag team matches with the Embassy, so going off our TNA list, maybe it would have counted there. But the score in this round is now tied at 2-2. We've got a
Yes.
lot of names to go. We've got Angel Williams, who I don't know who is.
Nope.
We've got
It's Angelina Love, isn't it?
yeah. Okay, TNA knowledge again coming into the Ring of Honor question. There we go. We've got Barry Ace. Again, who? I don't know.
Nah.
Bison Smith. R.I.P., I think.
Yes.
Claudio Castagnoli.
Yep.
Conrad Kennedy, even. Again,
I got no idea who that is.
me neither. Daisy Hayes.
That was gonna be my next name.
Dave Taylor. Diablo Santiago, one of the Outcast Killers with a Z. Yeah. What a team they were. Donovan Dijak. Eric Stevens. Ernie Osiris. Excess 69. Don't know who he is. Do want to
What a
know who
stable
he
this
is. Fast Eddie. Jade Chung. Joey Ryan. John Walters. Josh Daniels. Matt Seidel. Mia Yim. Mike Krul with a K. Moose. Necro Butcher. Omen Tortuga, the other half of the Outcast Killers. Petey Williams. Puma / TJP. R.D. Evans. Back then, I think he may have been... Was he Barrister Evans or Barrister R.D. Evans? Sean will probably tell me in the chat in a bit. Rhino. Ricky Morton. Sal Renaro. Sean Davari. Spanky. Stokely Hathaway. Tommaso Ciampa. Vanessa Harding. Vader Scott. And Xavier. There we go.
Legitimately, I wouldn't have got.
So, Kelly, it's your chance to level the whole quiz up.
Oh man.
And it's WCW, which is kind of old wrestling, which we've established. In theory, Garrett is not good at, even though he won the point when we did it. So, yes. And, of course, in the spirit of all big stables, I have left the biggest, grandest stable of them all.
Oh no.
New World Order.
Nice.
56 names. I'm including all the different forms of the NWO. I'm not including the band, so no TNA shit to Garrett.
Well, in fairness, most of them count anyway.
That's
When you're
true.
excluding that as Eric Young.
Yeah. I'm including international expansions of the NWO. I'm not including stuff like Latino World Order, because obviously they weren't the same stable. But basically anyone who was in a stable that had NWO in the name. And yes, I've gone off the Wikipedia list, so blame them, not me, although kind of also blame me if it's wrong. Yeah. Garrett, go first.
Hulk Hogan.
You are correct.
You know what? We're just gonna do a repeat of the immortal one. Sting.
Yes. This time it's correct. My heart was in my mouth for a moment, but of course he was in... Was he in anything other than the Wolfpack?
I don't think so.
But he was
Wolfpack
definitely in the
counts,
Wolfpack.
right?
Yeah, Wolfpack counts.
Okay, good.
Kevin Nash.
Uh-huh.
Scott Hall.
Uh-huh.
Randy Savage.
Randy Savage, correct.
Let's go Buff Bagwell.
Mm-hmm. I was
Sean Wall.
gonna tell a story about Buff Bagwell.
No, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'll just back off.
Jesus, Garrett. I was once at a Rev Pro show where Buff Bagwell was booked but not in a match. He interrupted a match from the balcony with a promo. And at the end of the promo, he turned to the crowd. Well, he was kind of already facing the crowd, but he stopped addressing the person in the ring and said, "Crowd, if you want Andy Quilden, you know, the booker of Rev Pro, to bring me back, and you want me to show up again, make sure you let him know." And the whole crowd booed, and he never showed up again. So it's
the stuff.
a fun memory. The stuff never showed up again, unfortunately. Garrett, who was your guest that I rudely interrupted?
It's going to be Sean Waltman or Six.
Yeah.
You guys remember the day we realized that 6 is 1, 2, and 3 added together?
That is today for me.
Is it really?
I was like, oh.
I never thought about it that hard, if I'm honest.
Yeah, one day I realized, like, that's why he's called 6, because he was the 1, 2, 3 kid.
Oh, now that's just right. I didn't get what you were meaning. I thought you were just talking about in general, like. well, yes, that's how maths works. But yes, that is. Oh, so it's like X-Pac. That's blown my mind, Kelly. Thank you.
It's great. Like once you see that, it's amazing.
There's depth.
I mean, X-Pac is algebra. X equals 6.
How are you getting Pac in there?
Yeah, that I don't know.
There's math.
Sure. Okay. Who haven't we said so far? Let's. Not gonna say that one because I'm not entirely sure if it's right. Fuck it, Masahiro Chono.
Boom, correct.
Booker T.
Yes.
The WWE version.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
You've got to name everybody anyway.
Great Muta.
Yes. What have I haven't listed under? It is right, but I can't find him in the list. Where is it? Yes, Great Muta. I was looking under the Great Muta. There we are.
The Giant, the Big Show.
Indeed, he was.
Shawn Michaels.
Very briefly, but he's on the Wikipedia.
your heart out, girls.
Because I know that because I had an action figure of Shawn Michaels with the NWO shirt on.
Ted DiBiase.
Ted DiBiase.
Money behind the NWO.
Correct.
Dennis Rodman.
How could he not be?
Um,
Sensing around, heading towards Kelly here. There's
I guess Scott Steiner.
he's pulled one out. Correct.
Did we say Eric Bischoff yet?
We have not said Eric Bischoff.
How many people on that here? The problem is the WCW roster. You think everybody was in there? That you could say everybody, but everybody wasn't in. There were some people that weren't.
The pressure's getting to him.
There we go. I'm not sure we really even allow this pick. Pick Sting. Farmer.
Yes, NWO Sting. He was definitely there, especially in in NWO Japan. He did quite a lot of stuff over there.
Tenzan was in there, right?
He was indeed.
NWO Japan. I'm missing really obvious ones.
There's a few fairly obvious ones. You've got most of the ones that like you should get.
See, this is the one where I'm like, I'm pretty sure he was in it. I'm not 100% sure. Jeff Jarrett?
Wow. Yes, of course.
Yeah, that's one of those. Everybody was in it, right? But maybe
Yeah.
he wasn't.
I don't remember how early he was in it. He might have only been
It was
in
like
one of,
it was
the
like
late
NWO
ones.
2000, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was Rick Rude ever in it?
Rick Rude was in it.
Okay.
Is that hint clearing coughs or just regular coughs?
No, that's regular coughs.
Oh, sorry. You gotta, or it could be worse cough days. It's very worrying.
The stream didn't hear them, but I forgot to mute it on Discord. So you've revealed that. Thanks, guys.
I've accidentally exposed you. I'm so sorry.
How dare you?
Oh, gee. Members of the New World Order. Okay.
Gonna have to hurry you,
Life.
Garrett.
And for life. Mentioned by Voices of Wrestling on Twitter. It's all right. Oh, there we go. They're just plugging. Thanks for the plug, Rich.
Thank you, Rich.
Who was again the same DDP?
Diamond Dallas Page. He's not on this list, Garrett.
Oh, you see, he always flirted. It's under the flirting principle he should be in. He was the insiders with Kevin Nash, so that was like, was he in there in the end? Has DDP betrayed me, Rob?
Either DDP's betrayed you or I have, because that's the round to Kelly. We are all square.
I guess it would have been Rick Steiner. Was Rick Steiner in there? Would I have been better off?
Yes.
Rick Steiner?
Yes.
No!
Okay, so let's go through these names. But first off, congratulations to Kelly for being
coming back.
7-1 down in the first round, 2-0 down in the second round. We're now all square. It's invigorating.
Yep. That's why I wanted to get rid of that TNA out of there. I was like, no, just this. I know I'm not winning this one. Let's throw it out.
Okay, so we've got Akira in the Japan version, April Hunter, Barry Windham, Big Bubba / Ray Trailer, Big Titan, Bret Hart, Brian Adams, Kurt Hennig, David Flair, Disco Inferno, Don Harris, Dusty Rhodes, Hiro Saito, Horace Hogan, Conan. Should have probably got Conan. Lex Luger, again, probably should have got that one.
Yep.
Went through my mind like twice, but he's one of those people that are like probably in there, but is he?
He was. Where was I? Lex Luger, Louis Spicolli, Mark Johnson, Michael Wall Street, who was that IRS?
Yes.
so.
Oh god, this name. Michiyoshi Ohara? I'm probably saying that's wrong. Midya, Miss Elizabeth, Nick Patrick, Pamela Paulshock, Ric Flair, Rick Steiner, Ron Harris, Satoshi Kojima, Scott Norton, Shakira. I don't think that's
Should
the
have known
singer.
Kojima was in there if Tenzan.
Yeah, probably. Although, no, he was in All Japan later, wasn't he? Shakira, Stevie Ray, Tatsutoshi Goto, The Disciple. Maybe should have got that one. Bit more borderline. Tori Wilson, Tyrene Buck, and Vincent.
Oh yeah,
Virgil.
Vincent.
Right?
Okay,
Yeah.
crew.
So, we are all square going into the final round, and if I can find the correct piece of paper, which I can.
It's funny watching the stream while you're talking to me because obviously it's like 20 seconds behind. You're just wildly gesticulating, and I'm like, oh, what's wrong, Rob?
There we go. There's my fancy mystery wrestler, because this round is called Unmask the Wrestler. Again,
It's not allowed on Voices of Wrestling. We shouldn't do this.
Tracy Williams.
so we have. I've actually done. No, right, yes. There's 5 of these, and what we're going to be doing is I'm going to give you clues, and after each clue, each of you is going to be able to buzz in, by which I mean say your name, and then whoever says their name first gets first guess. And then they have to immediately say who they think their guess for that for the wrestler is based on the clues. There'll be 3 clues each. If you get it based on the first clue only, you get 3 points. If you get it based on 2 clues, you get 2 points. And if you only get it after all 3 clues, you only get the 1 point. Whoever has the most points after the 5 wins the round. So, for example, here's an example one. I won the IWGP Championship in Fukuoka. I have also held championships in Ring of Honor, WWE, and TNA. And the final clue would be I debuted for the WWE at the Royal Rumble. Hopefully, you would say AJ Styles.
I would have gotten that in 2.
Yep. I would have gotten that one.
Me.
So, obviously, the advantage of buzzing first is you get the first guess for that round, but after you've buzzed, you can only buzz once for the round, so the other person then gets a lot more thinking time. So there's, there's stuff to weigh up there. Okay, so I almost just said the name of the first wrestler, because that's the first thing written on the sheet, so just about caught myself there.
Pretty Anchorman it. Full Ron Burgundy.
Oh, it was close. Okay, so the first clue for this guy. Over the years, I have been in matches with Takashi Iizuka, Tomohiro Ishii, Kenta, and Shinsuke Nakamura, but I've never wrestled in New Japan. Who am I?
Do we each get a guess per question?
Yes.
Oh, Garrett.
Mm-hmm.
Amici Marufuji.
Not maybe correct, but it's not this person. Occasionally that can be the case where the clues initially can refer to more than one people, but it'll get narrowed it down. Callie, do you have a guess?
Kurt Angle?
Not the name I'm looking for. Okay, the second clue is I have won WXW's 16 Karat Gold tournament. Who am I?
Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
We say our names, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Chris Hero?
Correct. 2 points
Yes!
to Kelly, as for the first time during this quiz, you've taken the lead.
I said I had to clarify the name thing, and then immediately like, oh fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say.
All for a time. All for it. I always admire stalling for time.
Well played, well played. And the last clue was going to be, I debuted in Ring of Honor accepting one of Bryan Danielson's open contracts for the ROH World title.
Oh yeah.
The next name, almost just read out the name again. Going well, caught myself again.
You should really reformat your sheet.
I should. First clue for 3 points. Very early in my career, I was part of a tag team with Chris Sabin, in Michigan. Oh, the chat is just pulling me up. I misread my clue. I think. I'm not sure. Maybe I should have. Maybe I said over the years I have wrestled and then listed for Chris Hero. I should have said I've been in matches because he was in a tag match with Nakamura, but on the same team. So maybe a bit dodgy.
Like, just strike the point from the record.
No.
That is why I got it wrong.
Yeah, definitely. And as Chad is saying, yes, in NXT. So yes, sorry, first clue again, and then again I almost said the name again. I'm definitely going to do that for one of these. Okay, let's. I'm going to do annotating my sheet to make sure I don't do that. Okay. Very early in my career, I was part of a tag team with Chris Sabin in Michigan. Who am I?
Irish.
Mm-hmm.
Based on the fact that they trained together, I'm going to guess Petey Williams.
Not the person I'm looking for. This one's pretty tricky from this first one. So, do you have a guess, Kelly?
I mean, it's probably wrong, but it's also Alex Shelley, I guess.
Not the person I'm looking for, I'm afraid. Second clue for 2 points. One of my credited trainers was Down the Beast 7. Who am I? Thrilling audio.
Kelly?
Dead air.
Uh-huh.
Michael Shane.
Again, not the name I'm looking for, I'm afraid.
And Beast. Fern. He's an MMA fighter. I think we share a birthday.
It's not you. I'll give you that.
Oh, is it not? For Team Chris. I wish I teamed. Jonathan Walter. Football player.
This one may. No, this might not even make it that much easier. But just for 1 point, I was a member of Planet Jarrett. I can almost hear Garrett's ears peeking up a little.
Did somebody say Jarrett?
Wow!
Which one?
I legitimately don't even have a guess for this.
Shall we take a double pass, or Garrett, do you have a guess?
Look, I'll take a guess. But I don't know. Like, a member of Planet Jarrett narrows it down quite a lot. The list of trainers that's what's throwing me off. Because, like, it's not Jeff Jarrett. I shouldn't list, because Kelly can still guess. I shouldn't list it's not.
Because with Dan Severn, you assume it's someone shooty.
Yeah. It's like because most of the people who might suppose they're too young or too old. Was he too old? Yeah, he's definitely. It's the wrong region as well.
You can hear Garrett's brain going into overdrive. It's like, this question's vaguely TNA related. How am I not getting it?
It's like when your laptop starts overheating.
Gonna have to rush you, Garrett.
Kelly can still guess.
No, I pass. I got no idea.
It'll be upsetting. I'm gonna guess A1.
It's Monty Brown.
Oh, he's in Planet Jarrett. Michigan. I'm so stupid. Oh.
Kelly, I'm taking that as a victory for the two of us that he kind of got a TNA question wrong.
Yeah,
So
I feel like we did it.
My brain was too stuck on Team Canada. God damn it. And I was like, my instinct is like, all those were trained by D'Amore, not Dan said. The Michigan thing and Monty Brown show.
Still 2-0 to Kelly. There's only three guys left, so.
What was the middle? I don't even remember who that was.
The teaming with Chris Sabin was very early in both of their careers. I think it was mostly in local promotion, so I feel it was tricky for the 3 points, but if you knew it was trained by B7, then maybe you could have got it. Okay, next name. I have had over 25 matches in each of the following promotions: WWE, ECW, TNA, and Ring of Honor.
Kelly.
Go ahead.
Rhino?
Oof! He's got it right!
Hell yeah!
Boom!
I guess would have been Raven as well, so.
That's a hell of a pull. That's all the way up to 5-0 now with that 3-pointer. Garrett, the pressure is on. This would be a monumental choke from 7-1, 2-0 up. Oh dear.
The thing about that, like, who could that have been? It could have been Jerry Lynn. Could have been probably Raven. He's probably had more than 25 in ring. Right? Rhino. Is that about it? Boo?
Yeah, there's not much.
Yeah, there's not a lot of crossover between Ring of Honor and ECW.
ECW. You would have had, not long term anyway.
Joey Mercury.
Steve Corino wouldn't have had TNA.
I wasn't. Maybe if you counted some WWE CW guys, maybe, but yeah.
Well done for picking the correct. Because as I said, I would have guessed Raven, so I would have been wrong even if I had guessed first.
Yeah, I was thinking Raven, but I don't know if he had that many matches in Ring of Honor.
Yeah, it would be around there because it was right before they started running a lot, so they were still running like once or twice a month then, and I don't think he was there for. It would have probably been. It's definitely double figures, right around the 25 mark, I think.
The wonders of the internet.
I'm sure someone in the chat will tell us, but yes, well done, Kelly. 5-0 up.
I'm very. I feel the adrenaline pumping.
Right. Once it got out of TNA, it became a shambles. Raven's only at 9. Raven was nowhere near.
Okay, so I am a former WWE 24/7 champion. Now that's a lot of people, obviously. So make your guesses.
Kelly. R-Truth.
Not the name I'm looking for.
I almost was going to guess R-Truth. Again, reverse engineering you. He's like, they're not going to guess it's R-Truth because that's too obvious. We'll go for an obscure WWE 24/7 champion. What's hell that belt? There's so many people, but they're all the nerds. Jinder?
I don't believe this. He's only gonna.
It's not.
He's read my mind, Kelly. He's back in the game. He's got the 3 points.
You're back.
Why is Jinder the second person I think of?
It's 5-3. The next clues would have been I'm Canadian, which was kind of me trying to throw you in the Bobby Roode direction.
Yep.
And then the final one was I've wrestled 2 matches for Antonio Inoki's IGF promotion, which was really the one that would have narrowed it down.
I feel like both of us would have been absolutely stranded. RB pulling one out of my ass.
Well, we're down to the last person, and Garrett needs at least 2 points to tie it. 3 points for the win.
A tie break?
I'll figure one out. That's for sure. Again, very close to reading out the name there. Very, very close. Okay, the first clue is I was part of tag teams with both AJ Styles and Lance Storm.
Jerry Lynn.
Not the name I'm looking for.
Ah!
He was confident there. He felt he'd got it.
It was a good game. Well, did he even team? I know he faced Lance Storm. Might not have even teamed with him.
Just incredible.
Oh no!
No, not the name I'm going for. Okay, for 2 points. So Garrett really needs this to tie things up.
Can I answer it without you even hearing you? I buzz in before you even give the second. It's still only 2 points, but
Okay.
can I?
Okay.
Chris Jericho.
He's got it. He's got
it. I'm mad at myself. I went too
Okay,
early with
yeah.
Jerry Lynn.
Y2AJ, the very brief run.
I forgot about that.
And then obviously
For not letting you do your clues, Rob. I had to.
the Thrill Seekers, was it? Lance Storm. and-
Seekers, yeah.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Oh, I could have won it if I wasn't so trigger happy on Jerry Lynn.
This is great. This is almost
High drama. This
in-
is high drama.
classic wrestling fashion. They've set up some stuff and it's gone to a draw dramatically. The next
And
two
now
clues.
the booker doesn't really know what he's gonna do.
No. Also in classic wrestling fashion, I booked myself into a corner. The other 2 clues. The next one was going to be I've participated in a Super J Cup, and then the final one was I've held 2 different versions of the Intercontinental Championship.
Oh, okay.
So, shit.
We could just call it a draw. The dream team walks out together.
That's true.
Oh, that's an idea. Let me bring up some of your reviews that you did over on Voices of Wrestling together
Oh god.
and pull something from one of them.
Which match made you the maddest?
Which match did Kelly give this certain type of Pop-Tart to? Back when Pop-Tart ratings were what the madness of WWE reviews drove the 2 of them to. Where's the search bar gone? Here we are. Let's not have me read out
Rating,
typing.
because they can't accurately describe how bad the shows are anymore.
Starts are too good for the WWE.
They are.
What would you give this show?
I mean, this show gets Hot Fudge Sundae Pop-Tart.
That sounds pretty good. I've never had
a
a
good one.
Pop-Tart, but it sounds pretty good.
Hot Fudge Sundae is one of my favorite flavors.
Let's see, did the 2 of you do this one? No, you didn't. That was Joe Lanza, Taylor Mitchell, and Brian Rose.
Can't.
What era am I looking at for you 2? It's 2004. That's too far back, isn't it?
Yeah, that's too far back.
Mostly like 2016 on. Is what I mean.
Yeah, I
like,
think that's when.
Okay. WWE 2016.
It'd probably be in the later half, because I think I first met.
Oh, have I dropped out?
Shot my shot and was like, "Hey, can I write for the site?"
And he let you. So there we
He
go.
did.
Tiger Mask W.
Oh no, my computer's crashing. That's bad. Oh no, we're okay. We're okay.
W around.
Yes. Who did you review the TLC 2016 with? No, that's not a question. That's unreasonable. The answer is J.R. Goldberg.
I would not have guessed that.
Okay, so this was from one of your earlier reviews, TLC 2016. Who did Baron Corbin beat in a chairs match?
Ooh, do I buzz in?
Yes.
You already buzzed
Kelly.
in.
Yes.
It's Kalisto.
And we have ourselves a winner.
I remember that match because that's Baron Corbin's best match.
You went 4 stars on it. JR Goldberg went 2.5 stars on it. Garrett was in the middle at 3.5. So, yeah, there's a lovely little picture. I have no memories of it, but
Yeah, that's Baron Corbin's best match by a mile.
and now we'll have even more fond memories associated with you as you win the inaugural and first ever Voices of Wrestling Quiz Night Showdown. Kelly Harris,
Oh my
our
God.
champion. Who would you like to thank?
Oh God, I have to thank the Academy. I gotta thank you for putting together the show. I gotta thank Garrett for being a great opponent. I gotta thank Baron
Absolutely
Corbin.
choking things away.
Baron Corbin for having just such a great performance that I would remember his match against Kalisto. Who else? Who else do I want to thank? Not the Berserker.
No, he nearly screwed things up for you. Oh, but it did build the tension lovelily.
It did.
Lovelily? Wow, I can speak.
Man, I never thought I was gonna win this.
Look, when you were, was it 7-0 down or 7-1 down? It was looking a bit grim.
7-1.
Let me close that. Garrett, what do you have to say for yourself? The chat is currently calling you out heavily.
Everyone be nice to Garrett.
Hard. Got so far. In the end, it doesn't even matter. I would like to thank TNA Wrestling for carrying me. And the rest, what can you do?
It's okay, Garrett.
If we went
Baron
back
Corbin.
and look through the VOD of this, I would be interested to see how many correct answers Garrett gave to non-TNA related questions, because I don't think it's a very high number. But
I got one of the Ring of Honor questions in the first round
that's
right.
true. That's true. You also got the WWF thing right. The Heenan
Jericho
family.
was completely unrelated to TNA.
Oh, I have one more thank you.
If
Paul,
anything, TNA sabotaged me there.
Paul reminded me I need to thank my wrestling mom, Emmy Sakura.
I mean, big props to her.
Yep,
Much love.
she brought Paul and I in from the rain and gave us nice seats.
God bless her. God bless her. In all seriousness, though,
Paul.
thank you to both of you for coming on. I had a lot of fun. I hope I didn't waste too much of your last hour and a half.
From the rain and gave us nice seats.
Oh, God bless. Turned on a loop there. Whoops. Thank you also to everyone in the chat for watching this, if you watched part of it or all of it. Yeah, we're probably going to be back next week at this time, and I'm going to be doing basically I'm going to be pulling from answers from the chat, and then if you're the first person to answer correctly in the chat, I'll pull you into here, and then you'll get a go at a round. You'll get on a leaderboard, then I'll pull someone else based on a question, that sort of thing. Yeah, I think we're about done. But first, either you guys have any plugs? I know you did them at the beginning, but just to reiterate in case some people have jumped in late.
Follow me on Twitter at Comic Geek Kelly with only 1K. Listen to my podcast every Tuesday night live on YouTube, the Pancast at 9 p.m. Central Time. Tonight, we're doing a very special episode where we are watching the horrible musical in about 2 hours. So if you're still around, you can watch it with us. I think we'll be doing it on our Discord or some others. So if you're listening live, check that out. It'll be fun.
Garrett?
You can follow me on Twitter at Kidney with 2 O's and 2 T's. You can listen to the Wednesday War Games, which I off editing to do this, so lost.
It's gonna be all right, bud.
You'll have to get in the chat next week and redeem yourself. But yeah, thank you again to both of you. If you want to follow me on Twitter, I'm at BritResRound, so BritWresRound. I will be posting updates for when the next edition of this is going to be, but it's probably just going to be at 10:30 again next week. Yeah, and if you want to click the follow button, which I think is like there, which I'm pointing at, I think it's there. If you click that, you'll get notifications on when we go live. Yeah. Again, thanks everyone for watching, and I'll be hanging out in the Discord chat for a little bit to read any feedbacks you guys may have. But yeah, until next time, thanks for joining the first Voices of Wrestling quiz night. Now let's see if I know how to end a stream. Stop.